Hi, this is Sean from vlearnchinese.com, and I'm going to show you a short presentation and a discussion about the words for yes and no in Mandarin Chinese. So just as an introduction, it's a bit deeper than what meets the eye. And through this video, I will give you many examples so that we can all have a really clear understanding of it. So let's start with this point. That is, what do yes and no really mean in English? So in English, yes is an unconditionally affirmative answer, and no is unconditionally negative. By unconditionally, I'm talking about grammatical usage. It doesn't matter what context we're talking about. When you say yes, it is an affirmative answer about something, and when you say no, it is a negative answer. However, the difference is that in Chinese, there is no single word that exactly matches the meaning of yes or no as they work in English and in other languages, other European languages. So in Chinese, words that can translate to yes or no, or the other way around, when we are translating from English to Chinese, they depend on the context of the discussion. So the major issue with the normal translations, which I'll show in the next slide, the common translations that we use for Chinese is that these translations don't fully match the absolute character of yes and no in all contexts. So if you go and pick up your dictionary and you look up the word yes in English or the word no, most likely the definitions you'll find are one of the following. Yes is commonly translated to 是, because 是 is often used to affirm something. But what 是 really means is it is, or it also means is, am, are. And I have a video about that I'll refer to as well. Another one is 是的, which is also similar to 是. But I'll show you later why those don't always work. Another common translation for no is 不, but actually 不 doesn't mean no, it means not. And again, no single word exactly means no in Chinese. Another common translation is 不是, which is the opposite of 是. But as pointed out, 是 means it is, and 不 means not. So it literally means is not. It doesn't mean no intrinsically. So what do I mean by how in Chinese there are contextual differences and there's no single word for yes or no? I'm going to give a very simple example. If you are at a basic level of Chinese, you would probably understand the following sentence. 你会说中文吗? Which means, can you speak Chinese? Now in this sentence, the verb is 会, which means can. It's referring to a physical ability, which is the ability to speak Chinese. Now, in this context, if you want to answer affirmatively, which in English would be translated to yes, then your answer is 会. When someone asks you, 你会说中文吗? Your answer is simply 会 or 不会. Of course, you could give different things like I don't speak so well or whatever, but if you wanted an answer for yes or for no, yes would be translated to 会, which literally means can. It's affirmative. 不会 literally means cannot, which is negative. As I said, I'll give many examples, so here's another one. 你是中国人吗? If you're speaking simple Chinese, you should be able to understand this as well. 你是中国人吗? Are you Chinese? Literally, are you a Chinese person? So the verb in this context is 是, which literally means to be or is, am, are. In this context, it's translated to are in English. Are you Chinese? The are of that is 是. If you want to answer affirmatively, your answer would be 是, just like that common translation. But in this context, it works, which literally means am, the am in I am. So when someone asks you, are you Chinese? And in Chinese to answer saying yes, you just say am, which is 是. And the negative answer is 不是, which literally means am not, but can be translated to no. Another good example is 你有没有吃饭? You could also say this as 你吃饭了吗? which means have you eaten food, and the reason why there's food is a different story. So in this context, the verb is have, right? Have you eaten? In Chinese, that's 有, which means to have done something. So to answer affirmatively, to say yes, you say 有, literally have. And to answer negatively, you say 没有, literally means have not, but in this context is translated to no. My final exhaustive answer, and then I'll just go on to say why there are so many more and I won't give all of them, is 你在吃饭吗? 你在吃饭吗? Are you eating? In this context, 在 is the verb, which is translated to are in English when referring to a verb, when referring to doing things. So 在 literally means am or are. And so the affirmative answer is 在. So if someone just asks you 你在吃饭吗? If you want to answer yes, you just say 在. If you want to answer no, you would say 不在, which is literally I am not. Sorry, I missed quotation marks there. So this discussion could go on and I could give many more examples. For example, 能不能, 好不好, 可不可以, and 行不行. So in various contexts, you could ask a question. So I don't know if your Chinese level is good enough, but for example, 你能来我家吗? 不能还是能? If you are asking if something is good, you could say 这个好吗? And if you want to say yes, it would be 好 or 不好, etc. So in all various contexts, depending on the question, these 能好可以行 and many others can all be translated to yes or no respectively. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? It's pretty crazy that a language can live without words that are so simple and absolute as yes and no. But it goes to show that it's not required to have words yes or no, as long as you have an alternative that can apply in each situation. So I hope you enjoyed the video and feel free to leave some feedback. Finally, I just want to mention that in this video, I have made certain references to grammar that I assume is understood by the time you watch this video, but I have also explained those in other videos, and I will link to them here in future, as well as in the article that this video belongs to.